No. Okay. Hello. Welcome to the Smile Revolution Show. I'm your host, and I was on hiatus uh, for about a month or 5 weeks. So this is my first show back. It's October 3rd. If you're watching live or on demand, welcome. We raise awareness to the healing power of a genuine smile, and let's see. I'm going to read a smile quote. This is when I had a radio show years ago. One of my one of my audience members sent me this. A smile is something nice to see. It doesn't cost a cent. A smile is something all your own. It never can be spent. A smile is welcome anywhere. It does away with frowns. A smile is good for everyone to ease life's ups and downs. Now, we all have challenges, right? But I'm working on, it's about giving and receiving smiles. So I don't always smile, but I'm working on it. Okay. It's been 18 years since I started this project. The last time I saw my dead conscious. So anyway, I'm not going to I've got a great interview with Heather Massie, who plays Hedy Lamarr. And I'm going to read you her bio in a bit, but I was recently in London, and I'm part of this color walk family, and it's all about, expressing more joy and uplifting thought, and, color. I'm not that colorful tonight, but bright colors are smile inducing. So it does go with my mission. And so anyway, they get together in Old Spitalfield Market almost every third Thursday, and sometimes fourth. But anyway, and then I went to the Beatles. Paul McCartney has a show. I think maybe it closed by now, but it's early Beatles photos that Paul McCartney took. And this is one, of course, because I make hats too. And I love this one of George Harrison. I thought that was fun. And let's see what else here. I'm just going to do a little bit before my interview. Gumby wants to say hello. And Gumby always has a big smile and a hug for you. And let's see. Oh, I've got this new box. My neighbor makes these boxes. They're really cool. And so this is my magic box. See? It's colorful and fun. And I put all my fun things in here. And let's see. Oh, here, this is my first smile button. May you give and receive many smiles. All right, now who is on here? Let's see. Hi, Laura. Thanks for coming live. I appreciate it. Okay, now, who else is here? I've got this Army of Love. And there's somebody else who's here who wanted to come on the show. Princess Smiles, my giant gecko. She wanted to come and say hi to everybody. She's sitting right next to me. Okay, so let's see. And I've one. Let me see what else I have here. Real Simple magazine, The Power of Positivity. Identify your hopeful heroes. We all know someone who never fails to see the silver lining, whether it's a buoyant best friend or a sister or a cheerful sister-in-law. For me, it's my mother, a hospice director who somehow remains in a perpetual state of positivity. Emulate the people who look on the bright side, Santos says. When you need a spot of hope, picture the face of your optimism icon. Use their photo as your phone wallpaper if it helps. Better yet, reach out to them for advice. During the height of my pandemic-induced pessimism, I called my mom to ask how she remained so, ridiculously optimistic. Her answer was simple but helpful. Savor the small details each day. I thought that was good. And then, hi, Nancy. Oh, Nancy, yes. Gumby. I know. I love Gumby. She is so cool. Always smiling and giving everyone a hug. All right. And this kindness everyday journal. How can you make someone happy today? Okay. And then I got this. Laura sent this to me. Find joy in each day. no matter what, we can laugh and have some kind of fun every day, right? Okay, so let's see. If someone else wants to say hi. Okay. All right. Now, I think I'm going to give you my bio, Heather's bio. See? Okay. Now, Heather Massie. Oh, you like my groovy earrings? Oh, thank you. I think you have the same pair in a different color, Nancy. Oh, I think you're wearing the same pair, different color on Sunday. Okay, so Heather Massie is a New York City actor and writer. Originally from Virginia, Miss Massie has always been fascinated by the sciences, especially astronomy. She studied astrophysics at the University of Virginia and theater arts at the Virginia Tech School of the Arts, graduating summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa and Phi Kappa Phi. She's performed extensively in New York City and throughout the U.S. She currently tours the world, and with her 26 award-winning, internationally acclaimed show, Hedy, The Life and Inventions of Hedy Lamarr. This is the first in her planned trilogy of solo shows celebrating women in science. The next will be Flying with Sally Ride, America's first woman in space. In 2019, she served as a Fulbright specialist to South Africa through the U.S. Department of State, World Learning, and the U.S. Embassy, South Africa. It goes on and on. Yeah, I think you did. I think so. And so yeah, she's amazing. Anyway, I have a teaser from her show, but I think I'm going to show it after the interview. And if you can watch the whole show, great. If not, you can come back, or you can go on her website, and her teaser's on there too. But I am going to show it. But I think I'm going to do the interview first. Okay, so here we go. Hi, Heather.
Hello, Princess Wow.
It's so good to see you.
So good to see you too. You're looking yeah. You're looking amazing as always.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Well, we haven't really seen each other in a while, so it's just really nice to do this today.
Yes, I've been seeing that you've been all over the place, and especially in London, your events there.
Oh, I'm going back.
Is it with the same group, with the
Tomorrow, my Color Walk family, my Color Walk crowd?
That's fantastic.
It's my color family in London. And I'll be doing interviews, and I'm going to be talking about Hedy Lamarr.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
I'm inspired by you and learning more all about what you've been doing. I knew a lot, but I didn't know as much now since I'm doing more research about Hedy and you and everything you've been doing. So it's amazing. And so I'm going to take you with me to London.
Okay. Hedy is honored.
Yes, because, it's very important, her mission and your mission.
Yes.
So anyway, so tell us first what your mission is here with doing the show.
Okay, so first I guess I should say what the show is. It's Hedy, The Life and Inventions of Hedy Lamarr. It is a solo show in which I play 36 characters. The most important relationship in the show is Hedy's relationship with the audience. So it's about inventor and actress Hedy Lamarr. She was a Hollywood film star in the golden era around World War II. And she was also an inventor. She liked to spend her spare time inventing. And she invented technology for torpedo guidance during World War II. And that is now used in cell phones, Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth. So I celebrate her as a woman of science because I was in the sciences before I became a performer. I studied astrophysics before I studied theater arts, and I wanted to become an astronaut. So my next subject is astronaut Sally Ride, who was the first female American astronaut. And my mission with the work of doing solo shows to celebrate women in science is to inspire audiences, especially to encourage young women in science and technology, and to establish Hedy Lamarr as a role model for intelligence, ingenuity, and invention.
It's an amazing mission. It
Thank
really is. And you are so inspired. It's amazing. It's just learning more about her and you is, as I said, is just really inspirational. So thank you for doing all the good you're doing. Now, you started the show in 2016,
Yes.
right?
2016. It was November 9th, 2016. So that would have been Hedy's 102nd birthday if she was still alive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I premiered on her birthday.
Oh, that's so
Um,
cool.
Yes, there was a lot going on then. It was also the day after the 2016 election, so that was New
Wow.
York was very busy
Uh-huh.
at that time, and I picked that day especially in honor of her birthday, which is also celebrated as International Inventors Day.
Oh,
Well, it started really in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland as Inventors Day in honor of her birthday, and now it's celebrated in many other countries. So that's why you say International Inventors Day.
that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I found out in 2014, her and George Antheil got the National Inventors Hall of Fame
Hall of
Award.
Fame.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
That's really neat too.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of the awards have come after she passed in
I know, right,
2000, but
right.
at least they started in 1997 with the Electronic Frontier Foundation's Pioneer Award that Hedy and George Antheil got. And, but that was 55 years after the patent that they gave to the U.S. Navy.
Right.
That would have made her the richest woman in the world if
Right.
it hadn't been given away. But they developed it to save lives during the war and to work against Hitler. And so money wasn't really what they were going for. It was to support the Allied forces
Right.
against the Axis forces, and yet they should have been compensated for
Right.
it, as it actually was used eventually while it was still effective, the patent.
Right. That's a long story. I know what happened, and
Yeah.
I learned about that in the Netflix documentary that I saw.
Yes,
That's amazing. That everybody should watch. It's incredible.
definitely. It's a Bombshell, the Hedy Lamarr story,
Yeah.
directed by Alexandra Dean. It's executive produced by Susan Sarandon,
Oh.
and it was created for PBS American Masters.
Oh, that's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
So you've won how many awards? 26?
26. Yes, I need time to update my awards laurels, but whatever.
Okay.
It's yeah. So my most recent award is just the paperwork just got signed this week for me to leave next week to go to Bulawayo, Zimbabwe for the Intwasa Arts Festival.
Which is like one of the biggest festivals I know, arts festivals in the world.
Yeah, well, this one is a smaller one as far as the world is concerned.
Oh, okay.
But it is one of the larger ones in Zimbabwe. The Haifa Festival, Harare International Festival of the Arts, is larger, but they have not actually had a festival, to my knowledge, since 2019 when I performed in Harare.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so you've been how many countries have you been in like since 2016?
Yeah, so I've been in 12 so far, and then I will be, after Zimbabwe, I will perform in Zambia. That will be October 7th at Alliance Francaise. And then in November 16th, I will be in Chilliwack, British Columbia, Canada, with the Chilliwack Cultural Center. So that will be my Canadian debut. I did go and do a couple short showcase performances last year at the Western Arts Alliance conference in Calgary, but it wasn't a full performance. So my Canadian debut will be on November 16th.
Oh, that's great. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really great. Well,
so that'll be 14 countries, and then I've also performed virtually for Germany and Switzerland. So you
Okay.
could call it 16.
Okay. Right. Okay. So now you also have a Fulbright.
Yes,
I never
yes.
realized what that was. I knew it was something important, but until I really researched for this interview, I didn't really know
Yes.
exactly how amazing that is to get that.
It is the highest distinction of my life so far, or career so far.
Mhm.
Um, yes, it's the Fulbright Specialist Program through the
Mhm.
Fulbright Program, which is
Okay.
through World Learning and the U.S. State Department. And so World Learning, the U.S. State Department, and the U.S. Embassy South Africa all joined together in bringing me for my Fulbright Specialist Tour of South Africa in 2019. And that was my third tour of South Africa. That was the first where I had sponsorship and also representing the United States formally in South Africa as a cultural ambassador.
That is so. Did you do workshops too, and you do classes?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Not you do your one woman show plus you do all these educational too.
Yes, yeah. So I do community outreach, and that includes Q&As after every performance, because it's the kind of show where that is a nice exchange between me and Hedy and the audience. And I also do lectures. I do panel discussions with women in STEM fields to discuss how we can better support young women coming up in the sciences. And then I do master classes, workshops, class visits, sometimes at Hedy Lamarr film festivals, where I have Q&As after the show and to answer questions and just talk about how people felt about the films and teach them more about Hedy's history, things like that.
That's really neat. I didn't know about that. And you play 36 characters like Jimmy
Yes.
Stewart, Bette Davis, Louis B. Mayer. Who else do you play?
Oh my goodness. Hitler and Mussolini got cut, their cameos got cut, but that's okay. You can't have everything in a 90-minute show, right?
Okay.
So, but I have her first three of her six husbands, and Max Reinhardt, who she studied drama with, the director of her first film, Alexis Skrovnovsky, and then
Do you have George
Gustav Makati, who directed her infamous film Ecstasy, and George Antile as well. Yes, definitely.
Of course, he would have to be in there, right?
Yes, because there's a big section where after she has met him, because he was also an amateur expert in endocrinology.
And he was a composer.
He was a composer. Yeah. So she recruited him to be her co-inventor after she had this idea. It helped that he also spoke German because she loved to speak in her native language. She was from Austria. She was from Vienna. And so he was sort of a jack of all trades. He was an avant-garde music composer. He, like I said, was an amateur expert in endocrinology and wrote articles for Esquire.
Amazing.
He wrote a detective novel using endocrine science to solve crime. And he was also a government inspector for U.S. munitions. So
Amazing.
that was why Hedy thought, I'm trying to figure out how to implement my idea on torpedo guidance. So she recruited him to work with her. And it was the fact that he was a composer and doing really cutting edge work to mechanize and synchronize player pianos to play together for a composition that also included sirens and airplane propellers and gongs and for ballet mécanique. It was really the concept of the paper roll and a player piano that helped them implement her idea for hopping radio frequencies.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's an amazing story. And you can tell a lot of people don't really know that much about her, but during her lifetime, we mentioned a little bit that she really wasn't because she was so gorgeous.
Mm.
Everybody focused on her acting in the movies and Hollywood siren, as you say,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they really minimized her inventions. Like, oh, she can't really be
Yes.
intelligent.
Right. People minimize her intelligence, and there's still this mystique of people thinking that she was a spy.
Right, right,
But I found no evidence of that, except that it was a myth that has propagated
right.
because of people who thought, of course, she couldn't have done this herself. She must have
Exactly.
stolen it from a man.
Right,
She must
right,
have been a spy. I'm out of
right.
hurry, but
And
no, she wasn't.
right.
Her first husband in Vienna was an arms dealer. And Hedy already had a mind for invention and for machinery and how things worked because her father taught her how things work. And so how the streetcar works or how a printing press works. So when she was in dinner parties with the buyers of munitions from many countries and including Nazi forces, Mussolini was there. She called him a pompous little man. And most likely Hitler. It depends on who you talk to, whether he was actually there or not.
Okay.
But she heard the discussions, and she understood probably more than a lot of people in the discussions about how these systems work, and ideas for making things better really came naturally to her. And then she really worked to find a way to implement her ideas. So her idea was that torpedoes were very inaccurate in their implementation, and a lot of times they didn't hit their targets, and their guidance systems made them vulnerable to being jammed and re-guided away from the target. And she was pained that children were being killed when they were being shipped out of cities that were getting bombed to go to cities that were safer. Sometimes they were bombed on the way and killed, and that really broke her heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so she decided that to improve on the existing systems, she wanted to focus on radio guidance, but instead of being on one frequency that could be intercepted, to hop frequencies very quickly. So that even if it were intercepted, only part of the signal would be received, and that if another signal would come back, it would only be you might already be on a different frequency and not receive the frequency to misguide you. So she was very smart in that. She just had to figure out a way to implement the technology, and that's why working with George really worked on that. Can I ask a side note? I wanted to ask before we started how long your programs usually are, because there's so much to share. I just want to make sure.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that. Well, this interview will be about a half an hour, so usually 30 40 minutes.
Okay, well then we'll stop being so verbose.
No, we're fine. No, we're fine. We're actually fine. We're doing
Great.
good. Yeah, so this is pre-recorded, and when I do my show, I'll be the audience, whoever's watching live or on replay, will see your teaser, a little bit clip of your show and whatever else you sent me.
Sure.
Yeah, no, we're doing good. So anyway, I just want to say too that when you went to so you studied. I'm going backwards actually. You studied astrophysics, which you said you're from Virginia.
Yes.
And you studied at the University of Virginia, and then you went to you wanted to be, as you said, an astronaut.
Yes.
Then you decided. And how did you decide to go into theater? And then you studied theater arts, and you won all these sum cum laude. I mean, all these accolades, Phi Beta Kappa, and everything. How did you decide to switch to theater?
It was I guess a traumatic time in my life. So, but somehow all of that culminated in me switching directions and pursuing my love of the arts and theater. It was hard because I have a love for both inside me.
Right.
And then pursuing the arts made me feel like I was leaving behind my love for the sciences. And somehow I thought hopefully someday I would be involved with a theater company that had a science focus or shows, and I also wanted to be cast for an international tour, and those things weren't happening. I was getting a lot of work here in New York City, but I wasn't involved with science, and I wasn't involved with international touring. So I decided to do it myself. Took a long time to get up the courage. But now I am able to marry my loves of art and
I know, it's
science
wonderful.
in the
It's so
same
great.
place. As a performer, I got to write the show for all the things I like to do. I get to play leading lady and character roles simultaneously.
Right.
I love multi-character work, and I love dialect work, and that's also something that I kept in mind when writing it, to make the show alive and more immediate in the experience of the audience, and that also takes care of me in a long run.
Yeah.
Because if I were doing like a fourth wall drama where I didn't see the audience and it was just a person talking about their life in past tense, and you just read a biography, right?
Right. Right.
So I want it to be an experience with the audience, and so Hedy addresses the audience directly. She's very excited that people are here that want to hear about her intellect and who she really was, instead of being known as only the most beautiful woman in the world,
Right.
which is a great accolade, but she said it made people not really recognize
Take
who
her
she
seriously.
was.
Yeah.
She said her face was a mask, a curse that she couldn't remove.
Mhm.
So the show, I also wrote it to be how I feel Hedy might be now, being summoned back by the audience to explain how someone so unexpected could create what she did, and she's
Mhm.
just so happy that people are asking about her inventions and how she had these ideas, and not just about her being beautiful.
Mhm. Well, that's what's so inspiring about what you're doing. It's
Thank you.
really, it's amazing, and I can see it's your she's smiling down. I mean, I feel like in some level she must be so happy.
Yeah. Well, I'm friends now with Arlene Roxbury, who was Hedy's best friend,
Oh,
and just yesterday, trying to make plans to go to the memorial service for Hedy's son Anthony, who passed away a few months ago. So, and what Arlene says is, Hedy would have loved you.
I
So
know.
if her best friend says that,
That's so cool. That's so neat that you're friends with her best. That is like amazing, Heather.
yeah. She's so much fun. She's so much fun. And Hedy had such a wit and sense of humor, and so does Arlene. So I can really see how their relationship was.
How did you meet her?
Well, she's mentioned in a lot of the biographies, and she is a little bit in Bombshell. She's also in the documentary Calling Hedy Lamarr. So I actually met her first at the premiere of Bombshell at the Tribeca Film Festival
Oh,
in April of 2017.
oh.
And then a couple years after that is when I really got in touch with her again. And
And where does she live?
she lives in Seaford on Long Island.
Oh,
And she was still living in the house that she was in when Hedy was alive, until the end of last year. So I often visited and would stay in the Hedy Lamarr suite, because Hedy would stay with her for months.
that's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm actually she lived in Florida after she lived in well, of course, Vienna, and then in California. Then she came here to New York, and then was in Florida for her last years.
Okay.
And her friends there, who really helped her out, the Stancils, they gave me, you can't see it in right now, but I'm sitting in a chair that was owned by Hedy.
That's incredible. Heather,
Yeah.
that is so cool. I can't get
Yeah.
over this.
Yeah, so I have 2 of those, and transporting them is difficult, but whenever I can get them to a show I'm performing, I have them on the stage with me. I got them in February. So actually, they'll be on stage with me here in New York City.
Oh, yeah,
So I'll be.
tell everybody when you're going to be performing in New York City.
Yes, so I will be performing in New York City October 25th through 29th this year, 2023. And that's a Wednesday through Sunday. Yeah, Wednesday through Sunday. It's going to be at Morningside Players. So it's a neighborhood venue in my neighborhood, uptown. It is at 100 LaSalle Street, which is just southeast of Broadway and 125th Street. So Broadway and 125th, and it's just southeast of that. And I'm performing it there because I got the Lower Manhattan Cultural Council's Upper Manhattan Empowerment Zone grant to perform it uptown. And they really appreciated the fact that I said I wanted to do it in my neighborhood, because I haven't really gotten to bring the story to my neighborhood, because all of these kinds of things usually happen in Midtown or Lower East Side, or, places that aren't uptown. I am pretty close to the Apollo, but that's a different thing than this show. Yeah. So I'm really excited that they were saw my excitement about bringing it here. It was originally for last year, but because of waiting for Department of inspections, or the Department of Housing and such, to do an inspection on their building, I deferred to this year. So that's exciting. And the tickets are finally up. They got a new website, and the ticketing is live now at morningsideplayers.org.
And I'll post everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I mean, other places I'll be are listed on my website, heathermassie.com. So it's like my name, Heather, Massie.
Well, I have it on here.
Yeah, grand.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And how many seats are in this theater?
It's in the basement of a co-op. That's why I said it's a neighborhood venue. It's a special place here uptown. And my friend Susanna Frazier is the artistic director. So
it's a small space.
Well, it's just that they have to deal with the structural support columns, because it's the basement of this residential building.
Oh, okay.
So the way it is, it's the stage is in a corner, and you can put audience on both sides, but there's a big column. So because I'm a solo show, it's harder to direct around that, so that people always have something to watch, because you can't put at least one person where people can see. So we've decided to just do one side. So it's about 55 to 60 seats. So it'll be a nice intimate experience.
That sounds nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And my press representative is Jonathan Slaff. And I'm very excited that he's going to put out more official word on it on Monday. The press releases go out. Of course, people will be watching this later. So as we're recording on, what day is this? This is September 15th, right? 15th?
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep track of the days.
Yeah, September 15th. Yeah. And it'll be, this show will air probably beginning of October.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'll let you know, because coming back from London, I think I need probably a few days to get back to.
Understand. Yes, we're both trotting around everywhere.
I'm just going to London. You're like all over you're like in all these different countries. But anyway.
London is fantastic.
I know.
Yeah, so I'm going to a booking conference in Indianapolis. Then I go to Intwas Arts Festival in Zimbabwe. I go to Alliance Francaise in Zambia. Hopefully I'll be with a science center in South Africa. I'm still trying to schedule that for the second week of October.
Oh, really? Oh, gosh.
Then when I come back, I'll go to Anthony Loder's memorial service in California. Then I go to an International Women's Monodrama Festival in Algeria, which is fantastic, because Hedy's first American picture was Algiers with Charles Boyer. And then I go to Chilliwack, Canada. And then I go to California for Sally Ride, astronaut Sally Ride, who I'm researching. She's since passed from cancer, but I visited her sister Bear a few times now, and their mother Joyce. I was there for her 99th birthday party last year, and she's invited me to her 100th birthday party this year in November. So I'm planning to go for that, and then I have a run in Tucson at the Invisible Theater in December.
Great. So you're writing your second show about Sally now?
Yes. Well, I've been researching. With all the work it takes to do what I call the 89 jobs of doing my show.
Right.
Of booking it and tour managing and
right.
Graphics and blah blah blah. It's hard to get the focus to really focus on that. And then I had bronchitis for 2 months this summer. So getting to the writing of it is something I really, really want to do very soon.
You're still researching, so that's good. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm approaching the research a bit differently this time because I'm really working to talk to people, but that's much more time consuming, especially when I'm already doing the first show. So yeah, I mean, once you're already running one thing and trying to start another thing, it's more challenging than when you weren't doing the first thing.
Right. Okay, well that's exciting, Heather. Now, with the state of the affairs, so I think in 1941 is when Hedy met George Antheil, and then because during the war and everything, and they were very concerned. Now, what would Hedy say now? Because we're in very difficult times now, as you know, in many ways. What would Hedy say now?
I think she would say some words that she found in her latter years that she shared with Anthony that are featured in my show and also in the documentary. You can hear a recording of her saying the paradoxical commandments. So it would be, people are unreasonable, but they can be illogical and self-centered. Love them anyway. If you do good, people will accuse you of selfish ulterior motives. Do good anyway. The biggest people with the biggest ideas, they can be shut down by the smallest people with the smallest minds. Think big anyway. What you spend years building may be just destroyed overnight. Build anyway. You'll give the world the best that you've got. You may just feel kicked into the teeth. You give the world the best that you've got anyway. Yeah. So
thank you. And I'm crying here. So anyway, I've heard that many times, but hearing you do it just now is just.
I think that's what she would say.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that in her latter years when she was very reclusive because people couldn't accept the way she looked.
I know. I saw that in the movie. I know.
Having been dismissed by the Navy, having been dismissed by Hollywood, that was still how she felt. Do good anyway.
Yeah. And I believe that too. I feel the same way. It's like no matter how much you get pushed down or whatever, ignored or whatever, you just keep doing good.
Yeah. Yeah. And you are spreading smiles around the world.
Yeah. I'm trying my best.
Yes.
And you are too, Heather.
Yes. And you bring joy. I mean, you bring a spark of joy everywhere you go in the world of the black apparel landscape that is New York often, especially in the winter. I try to wear my pink jacket in the fall instead of brown
reaching for the black or brown. Yeah. Oh, good.
But I don't often get a chance to wear the light jackets because I don't really wear a coat until I have to. And then in the spring, I don't let go of the winter coat until it's, because it waffles so much and I don't want to be cold.
Right. I know, right. I don't like being cold either. I'm actually not that colorful today, actually.
Oh, but you still far more colorful than the average person.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
stick with my red for Hedy, although Hedy really loved to wear purple.
Oh,
That was her color. So I just
yeah.
visited her daughter, Denise Loder DeLuca, in Seattle. And Denise is a painter, and she's painted many paintings of her mother. I just bought a print of one.
Oh,
Yeah, you can look her up online, Denise Loder DeLuca, and see her paintings. She just did a lovely one of Amanda Gorman from the inauguration.
right.
But she has several of Hedy, and her most recent one is just gorgeous, and Hedy's in purple. And Arlene talks all the time about how Hedy loved purple.
Oh, do you wear purple on stage often?
I don't. I wear the red because that's
You
what
just wear
goes
the
well
red.
with my complexion.
Yeah, right.
She was, yeah. I mean, I do my best to look like the most beautiful woman in the world.
Right.
I
Yeah.
have to
You've got
suspend
your
my
wig
own,
and the whole thing. I know. Yeah.
I just suspend my own disbelief to, become the most beautiful woman in the world in the 2.5 hours of my preparation.
Right. Right.
But yeah, so yeah, her hair was darker than mine, and her skin was a little well, she was called a porcelain doll, I think, because of her complexion. So for some reason, purple doesn't work as well on me.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, I go with the red, and it seems
because it looks better on you, right?
Well, the thing is, it's really hard to associate a certain color with her because the majority of her films were black and white.
Right. Oh, right. Right.
Yeah, and I mentioned her infamous film Ecstasy. So she, when she lived in Austria, she was hired as the lead in an art film that was initially called Symphony of Love, and became infamous and renamed to Ecstasy.
Yeah.
Famous and infamous because it was one of the first legitimate films that depicted nudity. She ran through a field and swam in a lake naked. Woo! And then there was a picture of just her face depicting the first depiction of female orgasm in legitimate film, and it caused a stir.
Right.
And I mean, in the end, it probably helped her career and where she went, but it was
It was like not the best idea.
Banned and censored, and Hitler banned it. Not really because of the nudity and that scene, but because she was of Jewish heritage,
Right.
which is also important to her story. But it's something that she hid,
right?
Being in Europe at the time, and then being an actress with MGM. Louis B. Mayer, who was Jewish, did not allow his players to speak about religion, and changed her name from Hedwig Kieser to Hedy Lamarr.
Right. She had to hide it. Yeah.
Not everyone had stage names back then.
Right.
So,
but she had to hide the Jewish. I'm just going to show really quick. We're going to wrap this up. I want you to tell me what else you want to say to wrap it up. But this is the poster. I saved this from years ago.
Yeah. And this is, my newer one, which is on the banner behind.
Right.
Yeah. So that has the awards and the Fulbright specialist.
Yeah, right.
And my website, heathermassie.com/Hedy, but
right.
heathermassie.com will get you there.
Yeah, I have it down. I have it here. So anyway, what else, is there anything else you want to say to wrap up?
Oh my gosh, there's just so much to say.
I know.
Her story is just really inspiring. But with the show, you can learn exactly how this concept of a player piano is, how frequency hopping works, and how that's now a spread spectrum technology that basically, when it was declassified in the 80s, it launched the wireless technology revolution. And, it's how we were all able to stay as connected as we did during the COVID shutdowns. And imagine if we weren't able to be able to see each other virtually and only had phones, right? But yeah, so her show is really inspiring. I like I said, I've taken it around North America, Europe, and Africa, and I'm working to go to Australia. Hopefully next year. It's going to take some work to build that up, but yes, if people are around New York or any of the other places that I'm performing, you can come and spend an evening, an afternoon with Hedy Lamarr. Each performance is special because the audience makes it something special with Hedy, and that's exciting. And just to share, those words of encouragement that I have to tell myself a lot.
Right. We all have to. We're
Yeah.
all working stuff. I know we all have to.
Yeah, to do good anyway.
Yeah, right.
And really, my mission is that people know about what Hedy did, and
Yeah.
surprising, and people get excited about knowing her story. So if you know her story, spread the word. If you want to learn more, go to the documentary, come to the show, do a search online. A lot of things go viral about her on social media because she's just has such an exciting story. And Hedy's really just grateful, I believe, that people are recognizing her for her intellect and her patent.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's time. So I don't know if you know about this, and I'm going to tell my friend Jane Applegate. She has a team of people. She's a TV film producer, friend of mine, and she has started something called the Remarkable Women series. And I don't know. I've got to tell Jane. I don't know if she's mentioned Hedy yet, and I'm going to talk to her about this. And they're wanting to develop it into a TV series about remarkable women.
That's wonderful.
In the past and current.
And that would be fantastic. Yeah, so I would love that connection and talking about Hedy Lamarr. And also, I mean, this is a good example of my audiences being my best resource for knowing other organizations that would like performance of the show or educational outreach, any kind of things like that for me about the work. So if anyone watching has ideas about that, shoot that to Mindy or to me. And
and I'll definitely connect with Jane Applegate. I don't think, it's something new that her and her team have started the last few months. And I interviewed, you can watch the interview. I did interview her. It's on my YouTube channel and Facebook. So I can send that to you too, if you're interested to seeing, and you can learn more about what she's doing.
Sure. Wonderful.
On Instagram. I'll let you know, and I'll give you the Instagram handle and everything. So definitely connect you with her.
Thank you.
And they're doing some exciting things. It's like, people in the TV business, she has like a screenwriter and she's a TV film producer, and then this famous actress from India. There's a lot of like heavyweight people involved in this. It's really great. So anyway, Heather, thank you so much for taking the time for being on my show today.
Thank you, Princess Wow, aka Mindy.
Right. I'm officially trademarked now, right?
I see that. That's a process. I think, did you use the volunteer lawyers for the arts for that?
Yep. Fantastic. I did. It took a year. And I did it. Yep. It went through.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm official now. Anyway, thanks so much. It's been great to talk to you and learn more about Hedy and you and all your amazing. I'm so impressed with everything you're doing. It's so great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm also going to Tunisia and Kosovo next year.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So anyway, it's wonderful to feature this important show and Hedy and everything. So thank you. And I will be talking to you soon.
All right.
And we want to come to your show in New York.
Good. Will you be here?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Brilliant. I love having you there.
Yeah, I would love to come. That'd be great.
And also, so people know, I mean, it's a very inclusive place. They want people to be able to come. So their ticket price is listed, but it's also, you can name your own price.
Okay,
so that everyone's able to come. And, you can even come to the door if there's seats available still, and, pay what you can or come in.
All right, well, that's
free if you need to. Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Okay, great. All right. Well, I'll be talking to you soon.
All righty, Mindy.
Okay. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Bye-bye. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that and learning more about Hedy and Heather. And I'm going to show her teaser. It's a promo, like 3-minute teaser. I think I can do it now. I was having some tech issues today, but let's see if I can do this for you all. Okay. Yeah, it was a great, yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay, let me see. I'm going to do my best here to show the promo. If not, it's on heathermassie.com/promo. Okay, hold on one second. All right, now I have it up here. Okay, I'm going to do my best. Okay. Okay, let me get all.
There might be a few things about women you've overlooked. Then there are my movies. A great deal of me is immortalized on the silver screen. But there is no secret to glamour now. Any girl can be glamorous. All you have to do is to stand still and look stupid. It's quite right. You should try it sometime. I understand. It is you who have summoned me. And judging by the moment that you chose, you want to know how a girl like me could create an invention like the secret communication system? Yes, and we can create a system like this with a mechanism like the punched holes and put matching ones in both the sending and the receiving devices. We do just this, using 88 frequencies. In honor of the number of keys on the keyboard, we draft the secret communication system. I am in that very item that no one today is ever without. Your trusted cellular phone.
Let's misbehave. You'd be just so sweet and only meet your fate, dear. Would be the great event of 1928, dear.
When she speaks, one does not listen. One simply watches her mouth moving and marvels at the exquisite shapes made by her lips.
Hedy Lamarr is the most beautiful girl in the world.
This is the interesting part. The engineer controls the valve. Then he opens and the steam travels through a pipe to the front of the engine and down to cylinders.
Behave in your lessons today, and I will take you to the theater tonight to see Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, yes, as I recall, you were shooting 3 pictures all at once. I saw your work in ecstasy, Miss Kiesler. You were quite good.
Well, surely it didn't set out to be vulgar, but such accidents just don't happen at MGM.
I have been waiting for you. Would you consider making a picture with me?
What do you think of the band, Miss Kiesler? Do you intend on making any nude films in America?
The great event of 1928, dear.
Copy the same.
Okay, hope you enjoyed that. So, my next show is going to be with Terry Tall. She wrote a book that's coming out actually tomorrow night. And yeah, I think so. It was amazing. I can't wait to see it. Anyway, her new book is called My Greenwich Village, Dave, Bob, and Me. And she was Bob Dylan's first manager back in the early 60s. And she was married to Dave Von Ronk, who was like the mayor of Greenwich Village in the 60s. And so it's a fascinating story, and it's her memoir. And I'll be interviewing her, and it'll be out probably next week, probably next Tuesday. I'm deciding if I'm going to do every Tuesday or every other. But anyway, in the meantime, I'll let everyone know when it's going to air. But that's my next interview. And so thanks so much for watching. Lots of love and lots of smiles, giving and receiving. And may you give and receive many smiles. And I'll see you all soon. Bye. Okay, let me sign off with my credits. It's called the Smile Revolution that comes, goes round and back to you. So smile.